What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So go grab that stick, go grab a glass of whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have a conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at SmokeWorld50 and send those emails into SmokeWorld50@gmail.com. And folks, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, whatever platform you may be listening to it on. I appreciate you listening. Now, this episode, we're coming to you. We did this live at Spartan Cigar Lounge. This was a Facebook Live with Micallef Cigars. And Brandon was the representing Micallef Cigars. We sit down with Toni, myself. And again, I tell you, this is live from the Spartan Cigar Lounge. So every third Tuesday, we actually have a Smoke World Tuesday. So if you're around on that third Tuesday of the month, come check me out. We at Spartan Cigar Lounge in Elkton, Maryland, and we're doing it live. We have a different guest, so come on out, grab a stick, grab a drink, and let's just have a good time. We are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, guys. We're here tonight. Brandon from Micallef Cigars and Stone from
Smoke World.
We're here tonight with our monthly Smoke World podcast. Tonight we'll be smoking the Medallia from Micallef Cigars. Brandon's going to tell us about it. Please feel free to chime in and give us your questions.
Perfect. All right, so I'll kind of start with a brief, kind of like the Reader's Digest background of the company.
Oh, that's lovely.
So Micallef Cigars is a fairly new brand. So we were started about 4 years ago. And Al Micallef is the owner, who is from Texas. And he owns a bunch of businesses in the area. So he has a silicone manufacturing facility. He owns a restaurant. He's got a lot of other business ventures.
Real entrepreneur.
Yeah. So when you first hear that, that idea of a guy who's an entrepreneur, and a lot of guys enjoy premium cigars as a hobby, and he very much found a hobby that he loved enough to turn into a business where he can not only make money but make some really, really big impacts in other people's lives. So. The Gomez Sanchez family, so he has his restaurant, the Riata, in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. He was coming outside and there was a van that was broken down. He had no idea who was in it. And that van belonged to the Gomez Sanchez family, who are now our cigar rollers and our cigar makers that we use. Wow. So it was a perfect case of right place, right time, right person that to really interact with. So we'll fast forward a little bit. Al asked them to make him 1,000 cigars, the Gomez Sanchez family.
Okay.
And he made those cigars just thinking that they were going to be for him to smoke and enjoy. And after he smoked them and he loved them, he decided to say, let's make this into a company and let's really take this a little bit further. So we'll fast forward until now. So right now we have 16 blends in our portfolio. Okay. We use a ton of different filler tobacco. We're really all over the place, kind of like you said, a cookie or a sandwich. So we use a lot of different types of tobacco. But the majority of our blends are made at our factory in Esteli. Okay. But we also have a few of our blends that are made by General Cigars. So
okay, good stuff.
Really, really fantastic blends. Our legacy blends are the ones that we promote that are made by the Gomez Sanchez family. And to me, although they are all really, really good cigars, my favorite cigar out of our portfolio, which is the Leanda No. 2, comes from the Gomez Sanchez factory.
Okay.
So, one pretty cool thing that is a little bit different about our cigars compared to some of the other ones, if you crack the band on all of our legacy blends, there's a little logo on the inside. Mm-hmm. And it's a picture of two hands shaking. And is essentially a symbol of two families coming together, cool. Meaning the Micallef family and the Gomez Sanchez family, to create a premium cigar that people can enjoy and love for many, many years to come. So, a little bit of a background of our brand, our company. So if anybody has any questions as we're going, just feel free to type them in, ask them, and I would say at the end when we're done, we can kind of answer them, or we can answer them as we go. But one cool thing that we just launched, and I know I told you, Toni, but you're not, I didn't quite fill you in yet, is so about a month ago, we went to some of the larger cigar distributing companies, so CI, Thompson Cigar and a lot of the bigger ones that people order cigars online, they purchase cigars from us, but we told them that we are no longer selling them.
Really?
No longer.
Okay.
So you have a lot of cigar brands out there that are very much blend exclusive to brick and mortars.
Right.
So you'll make certain cigars for certain shops. We are 100% brand exclusive to brick and mortars. So our philosophy has always been premium cigars start in the brick and mortar stores.
Okay.
And that's where I think they need to stay. A premium cigar, when you walk into a brick and mortar store and you get that customer service and you feel that ambiance and everything that goes on, and I call it the soul of the cigar shop,
yes,
you completely miss when you go online and you click a button and the stuff shows up at your door the next couple of days. It's cheap and it's convenient, but we go to cigar shops to enjoy our time, to get away, and to get a little bit of a release from our normal everyday lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now with that being said, I'm a little pushback on that on the online because great cigar. Now, unfortunately, I might be in a small rural town, and there is no brick and mortar for me to be able to access to get this great cigar. Now, you're saying I can't go online and get it. What other kind of options do I have?
So perfect. You actually guided me like right into this. So during COVID, we came out with a program called Ultimate Inventory.
Okay.
And what that allows us to do is if you log onto our website, it shows all the retail partners that we have throughout the United States.
Okay.
So if you pick one, and on our ambassador page, there's guys that say all the time, we ship cigars throughout the U.S. So you can go on our page, find a shop, call them, and with Ultimate Inventory, it allows us for the retailer to ring you up for the product in the store.
Okay.
And then we then drop ship the product to you at your home.
Gotcha.
So if you're 6 hours from a shop, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call, make the purchase, and we ship it to you.
Great stuff. Now, I want to get a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been with the company?
So I just started with them 3 weeks ago.
Really?
So I'm new, man.
Okay.
So a little bit of my background. I never worked in cigars before.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I was in very much your corporate retail environment for 17 years.
Okay.
And then back in 2015, I got a job at a local cigar shop, literally just to get out of the house and turn something that I enjoyed as a hobby to see if I could make something a little bit more of it. So I got a job at a local cigar shop around Baltimore. And I was literally at my full-time job at the time. And I went online, I went on Indeed, and I typed in cigar jobs. And Nat Sherman Cigars.
Cigar jobs, okay.
Yeah, I mean, what else am I going to type in, you know?
Cigar jobs. Okay, I didn't know they existed.
It does. So Nat Sherman cigar sales came up was the first thing. And I had no intention of switching my career. None. But I thought, what the hell, let me try it.
Right.
I clicked it, they called me back 2 days later.
Wow.
I was hired, and I gave my full-time job a 1 week notice because I hated it so much at that time because I knew that I was going to go work in premium cigars. So fast forward, I worked for Nat Sherman up until recently, so for almost 3 years.
Okay.
And that company has since gone under. So their last day opening, or last day of being open, was the first week of October.
Wow, and nobody picked them up.
Nobody picked them up, but I was fortunate enough that I was able to get another job in an industry that I loved.
Definitely.
So here I am.
With a company that sounds like they're doing great things.
Yeah.
Great cigars.
Look, I'm a pretty real guy, and I'm always real honest, but when Micallef came to me and asked me if I would be interested, I mean, the first thing I ask is, what's the plan? Where are we going? I don't want to know where we're at now. I want to know where we're at 5, 10 years
What's the future?
And my boss, Dan, that I talked to, he laid out the 5 to 10 year plan and where they wanted us to go and how they felt that they were going to really build this brand and build this company. And it was through the brick and mortar. It was through adding reps and territories that they just never had before. So Al Micallef was able to put money into a brand during COVID where most people were shutting down.
Yes.
And we added people to help grow our business. Nobody else did that. So that to me showed that this is legit. These guys are in it to win it. They have a lot of really awesome programs that I think a lot of the retail partners can get behind. I mean, it not only makes the store money, but it can make the customer happy because we have great products. And we have some really fun programs. You know, in the cigar industry, everybody wants to feel, a lot of the customers want to feel included. You know, it's really cool when they can sit down and learn something educational or be an ambassador for our brand. So that's why, like with this ambassador coin, we have a group of guys and ladies that we call our ambassadors. They promote our cigars for us. You know, they are the ones that drive it. Gotcha. I mean, I'm in the stores every day selling, but without the help of that core ambassador group, in certain shops, some shops bring their cigars in because they have ambassadors that smoke there every day and just ask for it.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I can't think of another company that drives a retail store to bring in a product, not just because they like it, but because they're included in a group that makes them feel very comfortable.
Gotcha.
Tell us about the ambassador cigar that was just released.
So we'll say, I'm going to go back, so we'll rewind a little bit to the beginning of this year. We had a cigar blend that we really, really liked. And Al Micallef's daughter and my boss, Andy Yaffe, they came up with an idea to have a cigar and be called the TBN, so the to be named.
Okay.
So we wanted to create a blend that was for our ambassadors, that was at a price point that made sense, that people would buy, that would be a really, really good cigar. So the first name of it was called the TBN, and that was until we could figure out a name for that cigar. Mm-hmm. So we went to our group of ambassadors, and they were able to then pick a name. So they picked the name Ambassador, which for legal reasons, there was another cigar company that had that name.
Oh, wow.
That had a little more money than us, and we didn't want to have to go to court for it. So they settled on the name the A, which a lot of other cigar brands have sizes called the A,
Gotcha.
But our blend is called the A. And from what I've been told that's above me is we will continue to do cigars that are for our ambassadors. Now that cigar is a limited run cigar. It's not one that is readily available.
Okay.
I almost think of it like a grand prize. You carry our cigars in the store, and your ambassadors get that grand prize of being able to come in and get that cigar that's named after them. Nobody else does that. That is unique to us, 100%. And it's a really great blend at a really good price. It's affordable and makes sense for a lot of people. And it's just a really cool program. They're already, from what we've been told, we're hopefully working on something else to be able to do next year, the year after that.
Okay.
And we'll do the same thing. We'll let our core group of people name that cigar, and it's going to be for them.
Nice. I'm going to give you a break. You've been talking. I'm going to do some shout-outs here. I got Steve Johnson, Brian Bratton, Tyler Weber all watching with us. Hi, guys. My Aunt Melanie is on. Hi, Mel.
Hey, Aunt Melanie.
What's up?
Brent Basslinger, Oliva.
Way to butcher his last name, but we're going.
Oh, it's Belsinger. Sorry, Brent. And we have Logan Mackey. He's one of our newest members. So
nice.
Good stuff.
Welcome, guys.
Good stuff.
We have a birthday in the house.
Yes, get it old.
Stone
Happy
turned
birthday.
29.
Thank you. 27.
27, sorry.
Had a rough
27.
paper route. 27. Had a lot of dogs on my route as a kid. Made me look a little more mature than what I really am. But look, folks, like I said, if you're looking at us right now, but check out the podcast, Smoke World, all separate words. You can follow me on Instagram at SmokeWorld50. Send emails because we're going to be getting content. We want to get your input on content. SmokeWorld50@gmail.com. Because again, this is a new format for us. We're looking for new content, so send those emails in. Let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. So give us a little feedback here. We're blessed that we have my brother here, Brother Brandon. Again, new to this. We're all new to this.
We're all new to this.
But hey, we're going to rock and roll with it. We're going to make it happen.
Absolutely.
So we will record Stone's podcast here every third Thursday of each month in this format. Maybe the format will continue to change. So you see it's a little bit different from last month. You can probably hear us this month.
How about
Yeah, I remember I tuned in last month, and I saw your lips moving, but I couldn't make out the words.
that? Yeah, we didn't have the signer.
And we had a whole hour of wonderful conversation that apparently our Facebook world
Actually,
did not get to hear.
You know what? You said Thursday. Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesdays. Sorry.
The other chick. Tuesday. Smoke World Tuesdays.
Eric Story says happy birthday. Orlando
thank you.
Perez
Thank
says
you.
happy birthday.
Thank you, folks.
John Scott's watching. Looks like Pete might be on. Hey, Pete.
What up, Pete?
Pete would love to be here, but it's family night Tuesdays, so
Got to do it.
Exactly. We represent for you.
can't
We got
win them all, right? Well, I guess family's winning, right?
They always win.
They always win.
No
So
doubt.
Happy wife, happy life.
that's
Absolutely.
right. That's right.
He knows the rule.
So-
He knows the rule.
He knows the rules. So, what are we smoking here?
So we're smoking the Migdalia, and if there's any ambassadors watching, they're going to laugh when I tell the story, but there's a running joke. So in our office, his name's Sam Spencer. He really likes this blend in the Corona Extra, which is what we're smoking right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dan Thompson really likes it in the Toro.
Okay.
So they have a bit of a battle going on as far as which one's the better blend. So I would challenge you guys that when we're done, we can give you guys the Toro and we'll see which one you like better.
Okay.
I'm a Corona Extra guy. I like a smaller ring gauge. I'm very much your Corona, Petit Corona, Lancero. So this particular cigar's got a Habano wrapper. It's got a Nicaraguan Sumatra binder, and then it's got a mix of Nicaraguan and Dominican filler tobacco.
I'm getting a lot of spice.
Yeah, definitely. When you light up, get a nice little pepper.
So, I mean, the way that I would describe this cigar, you are going to get a little bit of spice from it, but traditionally with the Habano wrapper, that's what you get. But it's not overpowering at all. It adds a really nice flavor. So, whereas we describe this cigar to be very medium-bodied in strength, I consider this cigar to be very full-bodied in flavor.
Yes.
Absolutely. I agree
So,
with that.
big difference between the
Yes.
two.
Yes.
But this to me is full flavor. It's complex. It keeps me interested the entire time. I would say to go with a really, really nice glass of scotch.
You want a glass of scotch?
Really good.
I can make that happen.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of that. Hold on, Brandon. I think that is missing. Brandon wants his scotch now. I can tell. He's got that look. He needs to be sipping on something while he's smoking.
I'm going to excuse myself.
That's
Would you
not a
like
problem.
scotch?
Well, God's going to bless you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That'll be lovely. And how long have you been smoking cigars, Brandon?
So my first cigar was given to me by my father-in-law, and I had this conversation on a podcast I did the other night, but I always will remember, and I would ask you if you remember the first premium cigar that you enjoyed.
The first cigar I don't remember. I was in Mexico, in Cancun in 1995. I don't remember what that cigar was. The only thing I could recall about it, I think it had a green label, and that's not telling you a whole
All
lot.
right, so it was either a fake Cuban.
Well, it wasn't a Cuban because I wasn't searching for the Cubans because I knew.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
so, green label is all I can tell you.
Was it given to you by like a guy walking along the beach?
Nah. I was sitting there on vacation. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm having me a cigar. And we went to one of the little local shops, grabbed the stick. I said, okay, and was hooked ever since. Been hooked ever since.
But that's all about that's what it's all about. There's so many stories like that.
Yeah.
So like my first cigar, I was 22 years old. It was a Camacho Connecticut Robusto.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know why I never forgot it, but like that just kind of stuck in my head. Like even though I wasn't smoking or enjoying premium cigars, 3-4 times a day,
Right.
I was enjoying them at special occasions, birthdays, and
Right, little celebrations.
holidays, stuff
Right.
like that. Which is, I think, a good thing. Like if you can enjoy a certain product certain times of the year,
course.
it keeps a hobby very much a hobby and not a habit.
Right. Get expensive.
Yeah, but like I said the other night, most people I would hope would remember their first premium cigar. And anytime you smoke a cigar that you know is the best cigar you smoke, or the one that if you walk into a humidor and you have to have one cigar, it's that one. You remember the first time that you had that cigar.
Yes, sir.
And along with that, if you buy into a cigar that's a little bit more expensive, Padron 50th, Cohiba, Spectre, the ones
Yes.
that are $100
Yes.
bucks. There's not a lot of people I think that are buying that premium cigar
No.
and just having it
That
on,
I know, at least,
and
personally.
and just having it on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm not built like that.
That's wedding, that's anniversary,
Right.
that's a child being born. Like that is something that you're always going to remember.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yes. Thank you, Tony.
So you
Such a
don't
lovely guest.
remember your first cigar, Tony? Do you remember the first premium cigar you had?
First premium cigar, I do. It was a
Oh,
Perdomo.
y'all not gonna make me feel bad here, because you know me. I think y'all trying to make me feel bad because I don't remember my first premium cigar.
Well, we're gonna
Wait a minute.
chalk that up to being in Mexico on vacation. You had a few too many cocktails and you just couldn't remember.
Okay, thank you.
All right, there we go.
That's
So
my
do you
that's my
want
lawyer, my
first
attorney.
ever cigar? was a...
If it's not like a Garcia Vega or like a White Owl.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
But it was infused.
It's okay.
So, first ever was a Bella Vanilla, which I despised because it tasted like burnt vanilla. It was then followed up with, I think somebody handed me a Tatiana Vanilla, which was even worse than the first one. Then they handed me a Cuba Cuba, and I'm like, all right, so vanilla's not my thing because it all tasted like burnt vanilla to me. So then I was given a Java mint, actually.
You really stuck with the flavor thing there for a while.
Yeah. It was
So you decided to
locked in a little.
But this was like, these 4 cigars were all in one night because I couldn't find one that I could enjoy. Like I would
Were you
start
paying for this?
No.
Of course not.
I would stop. I'm like, nope, I can't do it. Can't do it. So I was on the Java mints for a while, and then infused for a while.
Okay.
I was a big acid toast fan for a long time. And then I was introduced to the Perdomo Champagne, 10th anniversary champagne.
Good mild cigar.
Yes.
And that was my go-to for a very, very long time.
Okay.
Before I was ready, I decided to try the Noir, kicked my butt. Went back to my...
Champagne Noir, that's what set you over the edge?
That kicked my ass. But yeah, so I stuck in that mild. I would occasionally go back to my infused. The Blend Lab at our big favorite box store had one of my favorite infused. It had some notes of peanut butter and chocolate, and it was so good.
Okay.
Then, I don't know, the Perdomo did it for me, and from there I just started to expand my palate.
And when was this? How long ago? When did you have
I've
your
been
first cigar?
Smoking 10 years.
10 years? Okay.
So, I mean, a lot of flavored stuff to start, which is not a bad thing. The best cigar is the one that you enjoy. So if you like flavored stuff, if you like darker, heavier blends, as long as you're enjoying it, who cares?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, that's what we do. You know, we have a little cigar crew, and if you're a new smoker, a lot of times we will direct you into an infused cigar because, again, we don't want your first experience to be a bad experience where you turn green and threw up.
Sure.
And that's what you're going to remember. Now, the mistakes some people make, not a seasoned cigar smoker, but you're smoking what you're smoking. You got a friend who doesn't smoke. Hey, let me get one of them cigars, buddy. I think we all had that scenario. Hey, take what I smoke. I'm a full body guy. I'll give you that cigar, take a couple puffs. You're looking at him like, okay, he ain't gonna.
It's either going to be really funny or...
Right. So a lot of times we do introduce the new cigar smoker to an infused cigar. Something sweet on their palate, something sweet on their lips. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, I like this. And then as they gradually kind of get a little more mature with the palate, then we can say, okay, maybe we should try something a little lighter. Right. So that's normally how we actually start off folks that we come in contact with that's never smoked a cigar. We kind of direct them in the infused direction.
Absolutely.
So
overpower
is never wrong. I mean, like when I worked in a shop, that's what I did. I always took them. I mean, I would either go infused or I would go something very mild and mellow that was a Connecticut.
I always give them a choice. Do you want something infused or do you want something more natural? Once I have that decided...
But half of them don't know.
Then,
let's be real with this. When folks come in, they have no idea. Like, my buddy smokes cigars, and you know, I don't know, man. Or
we've had the guy that comes in, or the lady that comes in and goes, I like really mild and mellow cigars. My favorite is a DL 700 by LFD, which is not mild and mellow at all.
Not at all.
I would consider that on the stronger side. So the one question I've learned to ask people, like kind of as I've started this cigar journey, to kind of find out where their palate sits and what they may want, is I always ask them if do you enjoy black coffee and do you like brown spirits?
Gotcha.
Because you can have a guy who's never enjoyed a premium cigar before. If he likes traditionally one of those two things, his palate can handle a little bit stronger of a cigar.
Yeah.
Because those two things are
Yes.
traditionally stronger.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't start him off with the strongest one we have, but I would give him something like mild and flavored and then maybe something medium bodied to kind of see where he falls in between those two. Mm-hmm. But, you know, certainly we've all heard the story of the person that
of course
has no idea what they smoke.
At the end of the day, they're tainted. They'll never see a cigar again based on the fact they threw out.
I have a funny story about that. We have a couple, I'm going to use the term kids loosely. I mean, they're in their mid-20s. And they're sitting here, all young smokers. And, the good old boys club, hey, my buddy wants the strongest cigar you have.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh.
I'm like, all right, game on
Yeah,
then.
Are
exactly.
you sure about that? Yeah. So I pull out a DBL Cherie. He's like, this thing? I'm like, yeah, this thing. No. I'm like, the key is you got to retrohale.
Whoa. You
He's
told him
like,
that?
I did.
Wow.
So he's puffing and he's like, I don't get anything out of this. I said, no, man, you got to retrohale.
Wow, Tony.
He retroed
Wow.
and almost passed out on me.
Wow.
I said, well, you asked for it.
Wow, that was
You
a sad
asked for
Tony.
it.
Did
He
you
asked for it.
feel bad?
I didn't feel bad. He asked for it.
I did the exact same thing.
Was I supposed to feel bad?
You're supposed to feel bad. You're supposed to say yes to the guest. Hey, folks, she felt bad. She felt bad.
Okay, maybe a little, but
Make it look
he asked for it.
I wouldn't have felt bad
Make
at
it
all.
look good.
As long as he didn't hurt himself, it's okay to laugh.
He didn't hurt
Oh, of
himself.
course you're going to laugh.
There you go.
He was laughing. His buddies were
I
laughing.
said, of course we're going to laugh.
Those
Yeah,
are,
you make it look good. Oh, yeah, we felt bad. I did feel bad.
Those are my two
Psych.
favorite people that I run into. Are the ones that are like, you know what? Give me the strongest one you got. The one that's gonna put me to bed after I smoke it.
Okay.
Game on then. Let's
Night
do
night.
it. Or the ones that are like, do you guys have Cubans?
Mm-hmm.
Which for everybody that works in a cigar shop, we know they're there, but we have so much more.
Right.
But you get that question a lot. So
You do get that.
But the funnier one is, give me the strongest one you got.
So I actually have an employee who wants a cigar that's going to kick him on his ass.
You want to give that person's name?
That would be Mr. RJ, Randall. But Randall's
6'11".
6'11".
6'12".
6'12".
6'12".
6'12", an 8-foot shower. Yeah,
He's-
6'12".
He's a big boy, and it's
Speaking of Randall, where's he at tonight?
well. Randall works early, so.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have a customer.
Yes, not a
I will
problem.
leave this-
Not a problem.
I don't want to interrupt. Oh, you do some kind of broadcast.
So how's the cigar treating you?
Oh, it's
Say hi
great,
to
man.
the folks out
Yeah,
there.
I'm enjoying this.
Hey,
Really enjoying this.
Facebook friends, this is
Hey.
a fantastic place, and I love it. And I particularly like the CEO camera, as you know.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, I plugged that.
We just got to get you a
We're
better
gonna get the
cigar
mic.
that you like.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Right?
got to turn him on to something new here. Definitely turn him on to something new.
So your cigar journey started in Mexico. on
Started in
vacation.
Mexico in 1995 on vacation. Like I said, the green label. Unfortunately, that's all I got for you. Is the green label.
That's okay.
And from there, I think I went to Onyx. Started smoking the Onyx. I'm a big Maduro
Get
fan.
out to this cigar.
And, I'm a little bit all over the place. Like I am with my spirits. I do brown, do a scotch, I do a whiskey, bourbon.
Is there any
gin
spirits that you don't like?
that I don't like? It's a very good question. I'm not going to say I don't like tequila. Tequila's okay, time and place. So don't like, I can't say I don't like.
So you're different than me then. So I do not do tequila,
Okay.
and I do not do gin.
Gin is acquired taste.
No gin.
Okay, guys.
You got it? Okay.
All right.
I like you better already.
Yes, indeed.
So the only, and this is gonna sound a little bit funny, but the only reason I don't like those two things is when I was a teenager, when I shouldn't have been drinking.
Oh, sneaking out.
The first bad experience I had with alcohol was with those two things:
Gotcha.
Tanqueray Gin,
Oh,
Jose
Tanqueray.
Cuervo,
Oh, yeah.
Coors Light,
Oh, wow.
and a bunch of nasty cigarettes. When I was 15 years old, give or take.
Where'd you grow up at? Where you from?
Hartford County.
Okay. So
Baltimore,
Oh,
Hartford
wow.
County,
Yeah,
mix of both. So I'm a local kid, man.
All right, that's what's up. Good stuff.
Well, not kid so much anymore, but I can think of myself.
Absolutely. But yeah, Tanqueray, you hear people, gin in itself is acquired taste. Some people say it's old people's drink. But, I'm not going to say who those people are.
As,
That's
as I-
old people's drink, Tanqueray.
as I've gotten older, I've tried to revisit some of those.
Not quite. Still can't rock with it?
No. So I have a shop in Winchester, Virginia,
Okay.
and the owner is a big tequila guy. So almost every time I go in, he goes, "Brandon, I got something you got to try. It's
And it's
tequila."
tequila.
I'm like, "Mark, I'm gonna hate it the
Right.
same I did before, and the visit before that." So guys constantly try. I just
Can't get past it.
I can't get around it.
Can't get past it.
I just can't do it. And like moonshine, I mean,
I don't know. I had some pineapple moonshine the other
Yeah.
night.
I'm talking about the stuff that's brewed in a good old boy's
Yeah.
bathtub.
I mean,
Well,
raw
I was
whiskey,
pretty
raw
sure-
whiskey. Please don't let me down.
I'm pretty sure this might have been. Mr. Wood, I know you're out there. Answer me. Was that brewed in somebody's bathtub?
Well, he
was
can't
pretty
say,
darn
as his
good.
attorney, I won't be able to let him answer that question at this point in time.
What?
Next question, Your Honor.
Got a couple more shout outs. Got John Collins, Wood, Mike Dove, watching us live.
Wow, 2
Literally.
times. Watching this twice. But yeah, it depends on who's making your moonshine. You know, that does make the
I've had some
difference.
pretty decent apple pie moonshine,
Oh, yeah.
too.
Now, have you had the
Drinking
flavor
juice.
one or you just went straight
I've had
hardcore, clear?
both. I've had White Lightning, the clear stuff
Right.
that Jim Bob made up on
Right,
the mountain.
exactly.
I've had something similar to that was, had cinnamon in it and peaches and apples.
Okay.
Better, but
Not
still
your cup of tea.
gasoline. And then I've had the stuff that's legal in the stores that you mix in flavored
Yeah.
cocktails that have a much lower alcohol content. But I'm a brown spirits guy, so
Okay.
bourbon 1, wine 2, scotch 3, beer 4.
Okay.
That's the order.
All right, well, I got you some Glenfiddich tonight.
I see
That's
that.
what
I
we
knew
had.
that. Yeah, I said, okay, I know what this is.
Glenfiddich Special Reserve, is that what it was, Mike? What? Glenfiddich Special Reserve?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Bless it.
Is this yours?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Exactly. If you don't,
Pete remodeled his basement. He's been remodeling his basement.
Right.
And brought in
oh, that's nice. So, Pete, thank you, Pete.
for the
Thank you, sir.
members,
Bless you.
lots of ouzo if you like black licorice.
Yeah, you can keep that one.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I agree with him. Yeah,
So
keep
along the same lines, like, what is your favorite spirit and your favorite cigar to go with?
That's a good question. What is my favorite spirit? I have to think about it. I don't know if I have a favorite.
So if you had to pick one that I got nothing else, this is what I'm going to grab. This is the premium cigar that I'm going to enjoy while I'm at it.
That takes some thought processing. So,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna go. And
Yeah, jump in.
This
I'm
this
thinking.
goes back to the beginning when I first started smoking. Smoking a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, light and sweet, because
Okay.
that's just how I like my coffee.
It's like you.
And somebody said, "Here, dump this," and they dumped a single bottle, a little small bottle of Bailey's in it.
Okay.
So I was drinking the Bailey's coffee with my Perdomo champagne, and that just, when I think I want a cigar and a drink, no matter what I'm smoking, like I just go back to that. 'Cause I like the way the flavors melted together. if you
Cigars and
will.
coffee. It's good.
So,
That's how I start my mornings. Mine is the Bailey's. I won't tell anybody that it's in there, but sometimes.
Hey, your secrets, safe with me.
How about you?
Like I said, because I'm all over the place.
and a good Guinness and a dark cigar is good.
Definitely.
Now, see, that's the thing I was just talking about with beer. Now, to me, you got some folks who do beer with a cigar. That's not my cup of tea necessarily, to my palate. Beer's okay. It's acquired taste. I drink a beer, but that's not a go-to. I'm going to go grab a beer and grab a cigar. Again, scotch, something, because again, anybody who knows Stone's pretty frugal. So,
Me too, it's
whether
okay.
it be cigars or spirits, Stone kind of is, I'm not going to spend that much. Let me see what's on sale here today. So I'm that kind of guy. Hey, don't judge me, Brandon. See, Brandon's looking at me kind of crazy right now.
Some of the best
Security.
Some of the best bourbon I've had has been budget bourbon. Like, have you had Larceny bourbon?
I have had that. That's good.
$26 a bottle.
That's good.
That's damn good bourbon.
So I'm that guy.
I'm going to
so I
cut
walk
you
in.
off real quick
Yes,
for a
ma'am.
second. Dan Thompson's on. He says, howdy, nice job.
Thank you.
Looking good.
Oh,
good.
wow,
Thank
look
you,
at that. Need a raise.
So yeah, I mean, there's so many, like, a spirit you enjoy does not have to be a $300 bottle.
Oh, no. So what, I would know nothing about that unless I'm at Spartan. And they say, Stone, you want a sip of that? What's that? Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Yeah, let me try that, buddy.
But even,
Thank you.
But cigars are the same. Like, you don't have to have a $40 cigar to enjoy it.
Not at all.
I mean, look, I can sit down. Now, look, if I think of things I don't like to drink and pair with a cigar, I like beer, but if I'm drinking a beer and having a cigar, I want that dark stout or that lager. But I've never been a real big fan of carbonated drinks and premium cigars. But beer and a cigar would definitely be a stout. So like Guinness,
Okay.
something a little bit heavier. But if you like a lighter beer and a cigar, that's just what you like.
Definitely.
For me, bourbon or scotch. So I would say bourbon. I am a big Basil Hayden drinker, which is a 40 to
I like the rye. You like the rye?
Dark rye?
Yes, I like that Basil Hayden rye.
The Herencia Maduro that I gave you.
Right.
Smoke that with Basil Hayden dark rye.
Okay, well, there
Neat.
you go. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And tell me what you think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It'll blow your mind.
I'm down with that.
Well, I won't go that high.
Well, you know.
Because I don't want to be let down, but it'll be really, it'll be really, really good. Put it that way.
Now, interesting you mentioned that. Now, I'm not going to mention, we're going to mention another cigar. Now, I never had a favorite cigar, but, you know, a different brand, the Amazon Basil.
Good cigar.
Very good cigar. And it would be a cigar that you can't get, obviously, because it was a limited cigar, and they claim they're not making it anymore. They've been saying that now for a couple years. Hey, Rick, stop playing, Ricky. But every 2 years, LME not coming out with a cigar anymore. But that would be a go-to cigar for me. But again, can't get it.
That's a good choice, though.
Oh,
It's a damn good cigar.
There's no doubt. But like I said, now find a favorite cigar, and that's something that you can't get. So I'm a little upset about that. But nonetheless, there are plenty of great cigars out here, including this one we're smoking today, brother.
Good.
Thank you for turning me on to this. This is going to be in the profile
Good.
of cigars. And let me ask another question, because, you know, folks who listen to me on the podcast know, again, frugal. What's the price point of these cigars?
So this one, so we have it in the two sizes. So Corona Extra and the Toro is going to run you anywhere from $10.50 to about $12.50.
Okay.
So it's not
crazy.
$20, $30. So it's very affordable.
Yes, sir.
It's a damn good cigar.
It is a good cigar. It's a very good smoke. So folks, go check this cigar out. Definitely a good smoke.
Anytime, like, you know, prior to the companies I work for now, obviously I'm going to be a little bit more lean towards my brand.
Absolutely.
But I'm also a realist. I've smoked a lot of different stuff. So prior to being with my brands, like when I worked in a shop, if I had a blend where if I didn't know anything else in the humidor and I was going to pick and smoke it, it would have been a My Father product. So like a Don Pepin, Jaime Garcia,
yes,
where your price point's really good and you get a really, really great smoke for it.
Absolutely.
So that would be, you know, without mentioning my own brand, like that would be the brand where I would walk in and automatically go right to it. Automatically.
Okay. Any AJ Fernandez stuff or any fan of
Yeah,
AJ?
of course. Where's John at?
Morning, John.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, no, all the AJ stuff is really good, but man, I can honestly tell you, I don't think there's a premium cigar that I did not enjoy at the time when I was smoking it. I mean, everybody has their own flavors and what they may like in their own palates. So what you like is different than what I like. It's different from what he likes. But as long as we can all enjoy premium cigars, that's what's the most important.
That's all that counts. That's all that counts.
Cigars are unique from really any other atmosphere in a hospitality setting. And that, especially in a cigar lounge, you can have 5 guys sitting at a table who have never met, that have different political beliefs, religious beliefs, football teams, all that stuff.
Yes.
Now, they might bust balls and have fun while they're there, but they leave.
Excuse me. I'm listening.
But they leave and they're friends.
This is what I love about this stick,
Absolutely.
because it brings people together.
That's it.
You grab a stick and you have a conversation.
Yep.
And that's a good thing. Like I said, you mentioned, you know, politics, football, whatever your views may be. But sometimes you just got to sit down and have a conversation about certain subjects. And I think the cigar is a segue and allows people to relax, get a different perspective on some of the things maybe you didn't think was important or maybe you had a different insight on. But again, cigar, drink, we can have a good conversation.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to think that I'm right all the time, every time I'm in a shop, there's almost every time I go in, I'll have a conversation with a customer or with, you know, one of my retail partners, and they teach me something new, so I always try and pick their brain.
Absolutely.
Like for that exact reason. But, you know, if you take those same 5 guys that have all those different beliefs, and you take the cigar away and you put them in a bar, and they drink beer or bourbon or whiskey,
right,
they're going to be punching each other in the head in the alley outside.
It's going to be a fight afterwards.
So Dan just said he's on watching. Obviously, we knew that. But he's listening and learning what Spartan's all about.
Perfect.
Oh, wow.
So
Got to come visit.
part of what Spartan is about is the family.
Yes.
Like, we are a family here. And I'm going to put one of our newest members on the spot. This is Ernestine. Ernestine, you mentioned football, and she is dressed for football.
She's got the right colors on, too. She's definitely got the right colors on, so she's allowed to get on.
We're a mix here of football fans, personally. I root
Yes.
for the Ravens.
Sorry to hear that.
Brandon roots
Ravens.
for the Ravens.
Sorry to hear that.
But Ernestine has been an Eagles fan her entire life.
Hey, she's got that right.
And I want her to tell her story, but the Eagles made her Philly's hometown hero.
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
That raised my respect for the team a little bit.
It does.
And I...
If you're not shy, you can take your beard off.
I had a guy say that to me earlier. I had never heard that before.
Hey, how you doing? You got the right colors on. Great. I'm glad, because otherwise you could sit if you had the wrong.
Really?
Absolutely.
I'm cute, though.
Maybe.
Okay.
So we were having some conversations earlier. Like, what brought you in here? When was the first time you came in, and why?
I came in maybe 4 weeks ago.
So
for the
brand
first
new.
time.
Brand new.
Did you Google this place? Did you Yelp it?
I did. I Yelped it. So I moved
Okay.
to Newark about a year ago. And,
Okay.
I Yelped it to
Right.
see what good cigar spots were in the area, and this came up, number one. So I came in and I met some of your awesome members, and that's what actually had me come back. And so
Great.
then I came back
So
a
no
couple
regrets
more
on that.
times, and then I joined.
Thank you. Hey, what's your name? What's your name again? What's your name again?
Do you guys know each other prior? Okay.
No.
Oh, okay, so this is legit.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your name again?
I didn't know.
But yeah, why don't you explain? Okay, first of all, thank you for your service. You're in the military.
I am.
And yeah, the Eagles were able to, honor was military, but you can tell your story. Give a little background, you mean who you are and what you do.
Okay.
So that don't look so crazy. Like, what's Stone
Really,
talking
because
about?
you're trying to steal my story?
My man, a little bit.
So I've been in the military for about 25 years, a little bit over, and born and raised in Philly. And so I've been an Eagles fan my whole life. And they won the Super Bowl while I was deployed. So my whole life I've been an Eagles fan. The year we finally won the Super Bowl, I'm sitting in the middle of the desert.
Oh.
So yeah, Mr.
Talk about
Super
bad
Bowl.
timing.
I know. Uncle Sam should have done a little better on that. But Mr. Super Bowl, the parade, everything. And so.
But I gotta imagine it had a bit of a different meaning than if you were at home.
I was deployed with all soldiers from Fort Hood, Texas, so we were all Dallas Cowboy fans.
So like I said, it had a different meaning. So you can say ha ha to all of them, right?
I did.
But you can kind of do that now.
I
'Cause,
did.
Well, you know.
Yeah, we were holding our breath every week. And then my daughter, who just graduated from college, wrote into the Eagles and said, listen, my mom's been a fan and you guys waited till she was deployed to win the Super Bowl. And they said, we think we got one better, and they made me the hometown hero.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was really great experience to go to the locker room and
Down on the field,
down
all
on
that
the
good
field
stuff.
Meet the
and
players.
meet the players,
Oh, wow.
and club
Wow.
seats, good drinks. It was a really great experience.
What year? So that was.
It was the Giants game of last season.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It was raining cats and dogs that
Really?
day.
But you had a club seat, so you should have been
I
okay,
did,
right?
so I had to come outside, and it was actually really amazing because every fan, no matter whose team, they get up and they clap for you, and I had my eyes teared up. It was powerful.
You had a great
So it was
experience.
good.
Okay.
Great experience. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So what you smoking tonight?
Oh, I just took the label off.
Took the label
It
off.
was a suggestion.
A suggestion.
It was.
Okay.
I'm pretty open. I just like a light cigar.
Do you have a go-to that you normally go to? You a medium body, light?
Light.
Light.
Yeah, I don't like to taste it in the morning. That's my big
Fair.
criteria.
Yeah, Listerine. But okay.
Yeah. Gloss a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Brush your teeth and
Yeah.
Listerine. You know, some of those things help out every now and then.
So when you guys were overseas, did they send you any cigars? Did
They
Cigars for Warriors
did.
send you any?
They did. And so when I got here the first time was the first time that I realized that local cigar
Right.
clubs are the ones that actually send them. So we got a couple of, because you can't drink overseas, right? So we got a couple of packages of cigars over there. So
okay.
it was really pretty good.
And I've never been overseas, but I got to imagine that was like a bit of a treat
It was a very big treat. It was.
to miss home so much, but to get something that reminds you of it to a certain
Right.
degree, like that's just got to be.
Well,
amazing.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
next level.
amazing, and the soldiers that get the packages, they're really, really generous with like they don't
Okay.
just kind of hoard all of
share.
the good cigars and
Right.
like you can have the garbage. No, they're pretty good about just kind of. I got a box of cigars, and so if you smoke, come over.
Oh, that's good
So
stuff.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was tough. So Cigars for Warriors, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years ago, manufacturers were able to contribute
Okay.
and give cigars to give to our men and women fighting, and then they cut it off to where we're unable to do it.
Really?
So we really rely on local brick and mortar stores to get those cigars and to support them when they're overseas.
Really? I wonder why they did that.
It's over my head.
Okay, I understand.
I don't
okay.
agree with the.
Nah,
I don't agree with it,
I
but-
don't. Yeah, that's kind of
So like anytime I've done a fair amount of events with Cigars for Warriors, I always support.
absolutely.
Always. That is,
Absolutely.
without me meeting that person, that's one way for me
Right.
to help you a little
Definitely.
bit.
While you're overseas, right, away from home. Now, how long have you been smoking cigars?
For about 3 years. It's not a consistent thing, so maybe before I when I was on deployment, I smoked a whole lot more, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we had the.
I can't say I blame you,
right.
to be
Got
honest
time.
with you.
Yeah.
like, hey.
And then when I got back, I was probably smoking about once a month, and
Okay.
then probably a lot more.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you.
service again.
Before you run away,
Appreciate you sharing that
we've got
story.
Dan Thompson
Good
says
stuff.
the quote of the day: "Eagles finally win a Super Bowl, and I was sitting in the middle of the desert." He says, "Thank you for your many years of service."
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks
Oh,
for having
wow,
me on.
cool.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, pretty cool.
So, talking about Cigars for Warriors, our golf event that we did back in July was for Cigars for Warriors. And our next one is scheduled for September 11th next year. So, and that will also be for Cigars for Warriors.
I'll be there.
Something I should mention, if you're all looking for a donation center, we are a Cigars for Warriors donation center. We have a gorgeous humidor set up for your donations. It's been a rough year for them this year with COVID and all. The donations are down a little bit, so anything you can donate helps.
The cigars are at a, no pun intended, but at a premium, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Guys are stuck at home and some people are laid off and they're not making as much money.
Right.
It's harder for them to give away something that
Right.
Sure.
they enjoy
Sure.
from
Yeah,
home.
more of a challenge.
But
So-
remember, they do go to our troops that are in the hot zone.
Oh, I
So-
definitely echo the fact that
So-
definitely if you see, a Cigars for Warrior area in a store or anything, please support.
Oh, absolutely.
It
Definitely.
means the world to somebody who you may never meet, but
Yeah,
just
overseas,
know they
away from home.
definitely appreciate it.
I mean, fighting a good fight.
Yes, I've
Definitely.
talked to many of men and women who've said that without our support, they don't know what they would have done.
Mm-hmm.
It was their hour of peace in the middle of a bad
Chaos.
situation. Yes.
Little chaos.
So,
Who do we
did
have
we-
out there? Who's watching? Who's
did we
watching
talk about
right
the
now?
passport program yet?
No.
Should we?
If you want to,
Why not?
let's do it. Is there any other questions on there we can answer real quick? Or any shout outs?
Show some love.
Well,
Some folks
Orlando,
watching
I
us.
think he's talking to Dan, says we need to make a time for a podcast.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
I just did a 4-minute one in reference to the Grande Bold line. Who is Orlando? Do we know him?
Orlando is one of our ambassadors.
Oh, okay.
Orlando has his own show on our Micallef Ambassadors page.
Okay.
And he does an amazing job.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
So, whenever I'm not working and I have time to tune in, anybody that does a podcast on our ambassador page, I always watch. And then guys that I engage with that
Yes, sir.
I hadn't previously, obviously, I'll always watch yours now too. So, Orlando, thank you for everything you do for us. You're a big supporter of our brand and, a big pusher of our ambassador program. So, as a new guy on the team, thank you. It's definitely your work does not go unnoticed.
Very nice.
Oh,
Tell
that
us
sounds
about
nice.
the passport.
All right, so Tasting Passport, very unique. I haven't seen this with any other brand. So when I came on with this company, this was one of the things that they pitched to me that I absolutely loved the idea. So the Tasting Passport is something that I'm going to be putting in my local brick and mortar stores that carry our products. And what this does is it has 16 spaces inside the book.
Okay.
So we have 16 blends in our portfolio. So as you get to try all of our cigars and smoke all the blends, if you attach the band inside of the book, you can go onto our website and take a picture And every week we give away a $250 gift card to your local brick and mortar store.
That's nice.
So we'll call Toni, we give her $250, and then that winner, if he's, shops at that brick and mortar, will come in and pick it up. Okay. That to me is unique.
Absolutely.
We're not giving them a Visa card. We're not giving them, we may give them hats and swag and stuff, but to still be able to support your local brick and mortar in that fashion while people are trying our cigars that, maybe they may not have tried in the past because of this, that's unique. Nobody else does that. It's big. So it's a cool little program. And with that ultimate inventory that I talked about earlier, if the retail shop does not carry a certain blend, we can get it shipped to them so they can enjoy it. So it works out good.
Very good.
So it's really cool. This is something that I think we were going to talk about. So the ambassador coin you get when you sign up. The link is on our website to be able to become an ambassador. If you see the Micallef Ambassador page on Facebook, just join the group and you can participate. Really, it is just a group of hardcore guys and ladies that love cigars, not too much different than what we're doing in the shop right now. And especially during COVID, it was so important because that was their way to talk to other people and have something in common when a lot of local brick and mortars were closed at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And since a lot of stuff is open back up again, the interaction's still great on our Facebook page, so guys still are on there and supporting it.
Good.
So it's just something really cool.
So Dan says Orlando loves to hear his name. So we can get Orlando's name out there as much as possible tonight, I guess.
All right.
There's some shout outs. Orlando!
That's it. Pete's asking, how many days is Brandon's beard growing between shaves?
Whoa. Hey, Pete's hating? Pete's I don't want my beard to look like that.
I just shaved it on, I guess I almost completely shaved it on Saturday. So this is now, so Saturday to now.
Really?
I'm a weirdo. It's in my DNA. I'm like a caveman. But during COVID, I wasn't in shops. I didn't have to look pretty or do any of that stuff, which I don't generally anyway. So I let my beard grow for 7 months straight.
Are you kidding me? You're probably one of the best dressed guys in the business.
Thank you.
Wow.
But it was down.
GQ.
It was down to here, and my wife gave me the option. Either no more fun time or you shave it off.
Gotcha.
Which obviously I picked to shave it off.
Smart man.
But yeah, I grew up. When I was younger, prior to the cigar industry, I always had a beard, and sounds really stupid to talk about, but COVID was my time to go back to sitting in my underwear and making calls and doing nothing. And, if I didn't want to shower first thing in the morning, I would do it. That's what I did.
Right.
So I looked a mess. I can't imagine I'm the only one during COVID that did
Not at
the
all.
same thing.
Savage. He says savage.
Now, let me ask you a question speaking about your beard. Now, do you use any type of conditioner on your beard?
No.
Any particular product?
So I had some
Well,
stuff.
you got some mayonnaise and mustard, ketchup mix or something.
It's called Grave Before Shave. It's like a balm that's in a little tin.
Gotcha. So you got a little something you use. You put a
Yeah.
little conditioner, give it a little shine, a
Steve
little
here
shake.
is agreeing with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's what I use.
Okay.
If I could only put it on my head and make hair grow up there, then I'd be happy. But it just doesn't work that way.
I think that's a good look for you.
Thanks.
That's a good
I don't know
look
if
for
I
you.
could imagine Brandon with hair on his head.
I had long, beautiful locks back in the day, red and dark and curly and
Really?
all over the place.
Jameson.
Yeah.
Are you making this up, or this is just
No,
true facts
Jay-
here,
I'm
right
Jameson
now?
serious.
is
My kids
his
have
middle son,
crazy curly
and-
hair.
I'm saying I would have
He
to
is
see
a
pictures to
spitting
believe
image
all
of
this
his
because
father.
some people like to embellish. Locks. I don't know if I believe in you, Brandon.
I did.
I gotta see pictures.
I believe him.
I'll ask my mom. She can dig them up out of the basement. So yeah, man. What
Yes,
else?
indeed.
Anything else on there?
Oh, Orlando just said, yeah, true story. Likes to hear his name.
No doubt. Now, where's Brandon at? Where's he located? Brandon, where you at?
Brandon?
Orlando.
You mean?
Okay,
Brandon's
Orlando.
right
Yeah,
here.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando. Where you in Orlando?
No, I think
Orlando
he's
Orlando.
in California, I believe.
Orlando, where you at?
Yeah, where
I
you
think
at,
it's
Orlando?
California. It's not Orlando, Florida. I know that.
No,
much.
no.
It's California.
Oh, he's Cali guy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's Dan? Texas?
Okay.
So, I mean, our ambassador group, there's guys all over the place. California, Texas, Tennessee, Canada, New Mexico.
Soon to be here.
We had a guy
Yes.
that chimed in from Germany the other night that
Nice.
said new ambassador. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We don't really sell over there, but to have a guy that is enjoying our cigars in Germany, like,
Goes back to cigars, one world, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Smoke world. That's what it's all about, baby.
That's it.
It's a smoke world.
so I got a weird one-off question. I'm gonna ask
He
this.
said Anaheim,
Anaheim.
California. California.
Okay.
I walked right into that because every time I listen to some of his podcasts and people mention where he's from, he always says California. So
Hey, cut that out. Cut that out,
Soon
Orlando.
moving to Miami.
Smart man.
Smart
Miami.
man.
Smart man.
So I got a one-off question for you, and I always ask this, and it's gonna sound really weird.
Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared.
Are we? And I guess this is for you too. Are we bar or body wash?
Body wash.
Yeah, body wash, probably.
Body wash?
Yeah, yeah.
Body
Bar.
wash.
Well, here's the
Really?
thing. Well,
Irish
it's
Spring.
combination. The soap bar at night. When I'm going out in the morning, it's the body wash.
They
So-
say body wash is better for your skin.
Okay, sounds good. But
I heard that question on a local radio station, and like every time I do a podcast or have a conversation with somebody, I always ask it, and I try and keep a little bit of a tally in my head, like which one's higher. Body wash always wins, but when I have a guy or lady that agrees with me on the bar, we got a little bit of something in
like I said,
common.
yeah, the bar at night. The bar's, I mean,
Bar at night.
yeah, bar at night.
Irish Spring, like do we have Irish Spring? The smell of that soap, it's amazing.
You still rocking with that?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Damn
Well,
right.
now this takes it another step. Washcloth or loofah. Like,
I'm still loofah, even though it's
Yeah.
much harder with a bar of soap to get it in there.
Not really.
Well,
Not
but I mean, when I grew up, like we were washcloths all the,
of
all
course,
day
when we grew
long.
up, man, I had
John Scott says TMI.
Whoa.
Well, I'm not asking
Hey,
what you look like in there or what you scrub. I'm just asking what you use to
Hey,
scrub.
who's that hating on us like that?
Dan said thanks for representing. Spartan looks like a great place.
Absolutely.
You
Definitely
gotta get out here, Dan.
Yeah, you gotta come visit.
I know you're
So-
in Texas, but
To kind of flip the script a little bit, I'll tell you, and I would love to hear about the first time you walked into the shop. So the first time I came in, now I'm fairly local to here, so it was quick and easy, and I heard a lot of rumblings that they were opening up a cigar shop. And the first time I walked in, I was blown away with how beautiful the shop was.
Yes.
Not for any particular reason, but in Elkton, Maryland, there had never been a shop out there. I didn't know the owners, and I loved the lounge from day one when I walked in. I don't remember. I remember it was a young lady that I talked to prior to you.
right.
And then from the moment that I talked to you, we clicked. We had, we were here. And this is probably one of the shops that I come to, even though I'm on the road a lot. Like every Thursday I'll come in,
Gotcha.
or Friday, and do a little bit of paperwork and talk to Toni and Pete and Ed and John and all the guys that work here and the ladies. And it's just a great shop.
Oh, absolutely. It's
So-
laid out nice. Definitely.
As Dan put it, we're breaking down all kinds of barriers.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
That's what this is about.
Back to the body wash question. Pete says body wash with a big sponge like a true Spartan. He said that, and John said I'm out.
You don't want to use like a stick or something like that? Wouldn't that be Spartan style, like a stick? Or
Now just keep the bar soap in your hand, just like
Yeah.
Europeans do.
Some briar bush.
I mean, you remember Chappelle's show?
Of course.
Where he's like, man, I learned that white people don't use washcloths.
Yeah,
they just rub the bar soap all over.
Hey,
the
now
butt.
listen. I think I was in Germany. I was over there and I'm looking for a washcloth in the bathroom. Only thing I have is a hand towel, about this yay big. And when that gets wet, that's super heavy.
Sure.
So I go down to the front desk. I'm like, hey, do you have a washcloth? They looked at me like, what? What are you talking about? It's in your room.
I hope you got a fresh bar of soap.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a hand-me-down bar.
The little soap, the little soaps that they give you at the hotels is about yay big.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a rag.
Bro, I
That's
live
really
in
hand
hotels
towel.
5 days a week.
Right. So overseas, in Germany, there is no washcloth. So maybe they do the little hand,
Just the
rub me
bar
up.
on the skin.
rub you, get between cracks and crevices. But, hey, I'm not hating on them, but that's not what I do.
So
I need a washcloth or something.
just because we're talking about it,
Yes, you can spread.
my old job, I traveled across the country. I'm sitting in a rental car with a group of guys from the back seat here. So when you're taking a shower, you start down at your feet, right? And then you wash up, you finish at your hair, right? Like, I hope you don't do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
When I wash my car,
He's like-
and that's right, I said wash,
Wash.
I spray it from the top down. Same thing with the.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's
normal.
going on and on about he washes his rear end and then he washes his face. We're like,
Okay, yeah.
what is wrong with you?
Hey, a little special.
No.
We won't hold that
he
against
was
you.
He was trying to get a reaction. Just like you.
That's all right. And look where this conversation has led us.
Kind
Because,
of
again,
like hot dogs and ketchup.
South cigar. Exactly. This is what cigars. I mean, there is no off-limit conversation when you're smoking
Spartan.
cigars.
So the hot dog. So the one prior show. What was the hot dog?
Okay, so
Explain
the
it.
question posed was, if a glass bottle of Heinz ketchup is not on the table in a restaurant, does it lower
Standard.
standard of the restaurant a notch?
But then I intervened and said, first of all, there is no glass ketchup jars.
Nobody puts ketchup jars on the tables anymore. It
No.
comes out in little cups.
And here's the 52 fake off, folks. I'm going to give you a little secret. Don't get upset. The restaurants may get upset. They keep the Heinz ketchup plastic squeeze bottles on the table, but behind the scenes, they're getting like the dollar store ketchup and filling it up. Because psychologically, I mean, because Heinz does have a different consistency. So maybe your higher end restaurants may give you, but you know what they're doing now? Actually, hold on, let's just rewind a little bit. Now they actually give you just a little container of
Yes.
ketchup. They're not even giving you the whole bottle, I guess,
yeah.
based on right now the COVID. So they give you like a little dab of ketchup. Like, okay, can I get like 3 or 4 of these? Then they give you attitude. Oh, okay. Did you finish that one yet? Hey, lady. Can I get 3 or 4 of these? Thank you. So that's how we got into that whole scenario.
He says squeeze bottle.
But when
Yeah.
you think of like the
Well, Pete, no, hey,
So
Pete.
then it went, what do you put ketchup on? That's how we got on the topic of hot dogs.
everything, what kind of stupid question is
Well-
Well, do you put ketchup on your hot dog or do you put mustard?
that? I'm a mustard guy.
Mustard on your hot dog, ketchup
yeah.
on a hamburger.
I don't even do ketchup on my hamburger.
There you have it. He doesn't even put ketchup on his hamburger. That's another episode of Smoke World in the books, folks. We end it there. Again, I appreciate you listening. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram at SmokeWorld50. Email SmokeWorld50@gmail.com. Again, appreciate you listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on whatever platform you're listening to it on. Folks, stay smoky, stay safe, and I will talk to you on the other side. Peace.